The Monsters Playbook is an adventure podcast for grown-ups. It contains violence and profanity and deals with adult themes that may be uncomfortable for some listeners. Specific content warnings can be found on the episode show notes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, an actual play Monster of the Week podcast that is at the very least eligible for awards. Just saying. This week on the cover story, good news, there exists a forge that can turn the stones into something controllable. Bad news, it's under the exclusive control of the brothers Vitalis, two of the baddest dudes the Magio ever spit out. How do you turn ultra-scary weirdos into allies, or, dare I say, friends? I think we might be about to find out. Or not. The brothers Vitalis are like real jerks. Let's not get our hopes up.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Theo Nessos.
I'm Johnny, I play literally everybody else. Let's play nice, okay? So I want to start with Theo.
Great.
You've just heard a familiar voice ask, "What's this I hear about a forge?"
What? I'm a little busy right now.
Oh?
Do you need something?
As it happens, I do. Your Sky Prince. He has a gate stone that burns with a certain kind of fire. He has two, in fact. And I only need you to bring me one.
What for? You can see the future. Isn't that the greatest power?
I've seen the King of the Sky rallying power to move against me. I would rally my powers to defend myself.
How do you suggest I get it from him? He's not gonna let go of it easily.
You know him better than I do. I suppose you could convince him that it's for the best. Or maybe there's a way he never even has to know.
I can't do that.
Can't you?
That would be lying. I can't lie to him.
And you don't lie, do you, Theo Jones?
I don't lie to the people I love.
Then tell him the truth. It's for a very important mission, the consequences of which are life and death.
Are you gonna use it against this guy?
If she comes for me, I may have to. You needn't worry what I'll use it for. You need only acquire it.
I'll ask.
Your strategy is your own. You have your mission, Gray Centaur. And the connection fades away, and the ambient road noise increases back in volume, and you are once again 100% fully aware and present in your own physical body.
How's that connection with Mark? Is Mark okay?
Dead.
Shut up, Lauren.
Let's talk to Mark. I think where I want to start with you is to just have you kind of coming out of your conversation/investigation with Oscar to debrief with Catrell and Lowry.
Oh, I think Mark comes out of it and is looking around.
Lowry's gonna look you up and down and be like, "He didn't kill you or anything, did he?"
No. I mean, I'm still here.
Catrell goes, "Of course you are, because Mark's the best."
Yeah. And then I think Mark looks down to see the stones or whatever that we had in the center of that circle.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still the way that they were?
Yep, still humming with the fiery kind of aura.
Okay. Ember's duplicated herself multiple times. There is so much power here. Apparently, I created two of them.
And that's bad.
If it gets into the wrong hands, it's bad.
Or if it busts out of these black stones.
It's called the Gate Stone.
Interesting.
I wonder if could we put the stones in like your oubliette for safekeeping, because it's like cut off from magic.
So technically, we're in our oubliette though right now, right?
Yeah, that's where you had gone. This is the same. This is the same room. I think that you. Well,
If that were the case, then you wouldn't be able to probably do any magic.
that's
yeah,
true.
you can't do magic in oubliette.
This is true. Maybe there's a spot within the room that
Yeah,
is
so
the oubliette.
if you have an oubliette in your as one of your haven tags, then yes. So where you are now is in your basement, which you are here so you can draw with chalk on the cement floor. And yeah, there is what I want it to be is like, well, so like I think you just have like a sort of corner that there are 3 steps down.
Almost like a wine cellar or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And there's a big heavy metal door.
Okay.
And it like slides open like a barn door.
I assume there's some type of inscription like protecting this area or something like that, or
Do you want to describe what kind of inscriptions you might have used, Mark?
I mean, I think they would be almost like for lack of a better word, like transmutation circle, like on like the ground or whatever. And then probably some inscriptions like on the walls and stuff to keep whatever is in here, like, or to keep anything that's from the outside, not from, coming in. And then same thing, anything inside can't go out. So just kind of a null area.
So yeah, I think it's like sort of in the same color of paint as is painted on the walls and floor and ceiling. You can just sort of see just the shapes of these. It's just odd symbols. I think there's a lot of curves. I think there's a lot of sort of spikes. One of those things where it's like 3 triangles that vaguely intersect.
I was going to say it's probably reminiscent of some of Theo's magic and stuff like that too. Like,
I would have helped you if you asked.
I was going to say it was probably a combination of that and some of the stuff I knew.
The doing of this, it's not cheap or easy, but I do think there's like a store-bought version of it that you can do. That's just like, yeah, this is what it looks like, man. It's like, it's a pretty garden variety panic room. We just install it. It's just got supernatural shit going on. But like, it's customized for the space because it has to be. And then I think there would be a lot too of Theora flourishes.
I almost imagine Mark had like texted or called Theo and was just like, hey, do you want to come over? I come over thinking we're going to like watch a movie or something. And it's actually like,
can you help me set this up?
Paintbrush in hand.
Only if we watch a movie and popcorn afterwards.
Okay.
Catrell goes, yay, movie night. Okay. So you bring these stones into this oubliette.
Well, I think before I do that, I'm gonna say I think we need to protect these stones. I'm gonna put them in here. I have a room that will basically protect these things. I think Mark is just gonna go down and just set these objects these 2 stones on the table, and then steps out and locks the door.
I think the table, like everything else in here, is like a very sturdy metal.
Oh, I was gonna say like a butcher
yeah,
table.
I actually like that better. A very sturdy dark wood.
Yeah,
I am imagining and feel free to disagree, that the walls and floor are a kind of that bluish gunmetal gray.
Yep, I love it.
And this very dark, heavy, simply constructed, like no ornate flourishes here on the wooden table. And you put them on there. Of note, the humming magical aura coming off of them does not fade when you walk them into this room.
And remind me, is the humming new to these?
The humming is Oscar.
Right, but okay.
Yeah,
Just
like
power.
Ever since you put him in there, when you fought him in the sea, and then when you touched the 2 of them together and it spread, ever since then, these 2 things.
It's been humming.
Like, I say hum, but just like you can like see and feel.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Horcrux.
It's like a glowing.
Yep, glowing aura almost of
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. That's initially what I thought. I was just thinking you were saying like humming is in this thing is doing something different here.
If you were to have brought like, I don't know, some kind of magical communication rock or something, if you brought something like that in here, it would just become a normal rock. But
I see. It's
the
still
sort of
activated.
magical deadening powers don't seem to have affected them. But the other thing I will say is that like the sensation you get of the aura once you shut the door to this room, it does feel dampened. So
Okay.
it is not, I don't want you to get the idea that this room is having exactly no effect.
No, yeah, but the power is greater than that of the protection that it's in.
Or perhaps it's not of the sort that would be deadened by this place anyway. What does that mean, Johnny? Oh, good question.
I think Mark is definitely taken back by that a little bit, but he's like, this is literally the safest place that I have for these. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
It doesn't necessarily take you by surprise, because I think what I want you to have been getting this whole time is that this thing that you're dealing with, you're kind of punching above your weight class.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
We've done this before.
We basically have nuclear bombs.
Right.
2 nuclear bombs.
It's fine. It's fine.
And honestly, that's exactly what I thought going into this too. It was like, I'm not going to be able to touch this thing, but I might be able to get some insights. So
Yeah, you can get some insight and you can buy yourself some time.
Can Theo call Mark? Since I don't have the magical telepathy.
Mark, your phone rings.
Catrail, do we have any Oh.
I mean, I can if I have a couple more glasses of water. Why?
No, what? Just give me a minute. Hello?
Hey, are you okay?
I know it happens all the time, but I just don't know why he would ask me about it. He's not talking. Let's go make food, Catrell. Oh, and then we can get the other thing.
Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened?
So I basically tried to get close to Ember and get some information on her.
What? That's Mark, that's dangerous. You did that without us?
Look, like Catrail's here, my brother's here. I had a line out, okay?
I know, I felt it.
Thank you for trusting me. I'm okay. The two stones are in basically the safest area in my house that I can think of, but we have a problem. That flame, Ember,
Yeah?
there's multiple embers now because of what I did with the stones. It's like double the power, apparently.
Wait, did this just happen, or?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I found out about it just now, but apparently it's been like this for a while. So
Okay.
we need to combine them with the forge to make a weapon.
Speaking of that,
Weird. I could take one off your hands. Yeah, so fast. Theo.
Yeah. You could have
Rumble,
one.
rumble, rebel.
Don't you do it.
the Star King reached out to me. Kind of like what Ro did to you.
And
And he's asking for one of the stones.
why does he want one of the stones?
To protect himself? I mean, why does Ro want one of the stones?
To protect herself? I don't know.
I have an idea of maybe trying to get more information, but I think that our only options right now are either give them kind of sort of what they want, or don't give either of them what they want, but I'm afraid of the latter's consequences.
Well, this discussion is probably being monitored right now as we speak, so
Theo, I want you to remember something,
No.
which is that Mark already gave Ro the Witchwood, a pretty extreme source of power.
I don't know, Mark. I know that we don't know a lot about the Star King, and
we don't.
I guess, I mean, technically I promised him my service, but
As did I with Ro.
she has a lot of stuff.
She has a lot of toys already.
Is she really that powerless?
Well, this isn't about who has more, Theo. Like this is.
It's war.
I mean, it's beyond that. There's just a lot of power sitting here, and a lot of people want it, and I can only imagine what it will be used for if it gets into the wrong hands.
What do you think Ro's gonna do with the Witchwood?
I don't know, and I don't know what the Star King has in store. I mean, Star King has a lot of power, doesn't he, too?
I mean, to my knowledge, it's just him and I.
I think we need to talk privately with our team and figure out what to do with these. Because right now, I'm on the fence. I just don't know.
Well, we're heading to Dawnbreak.
Right, Lauren?
Yeah, Kira would want to head back to Dawnbreak.
Where do you want to meet up? We need to chat.
We're heading to Dawnbreak. Can you guys meet there?
Yeah, I mean, I have the stones in safekeeping right now. However, I'm wondering, maybe I should just keep them on me?
Maybe Lowry and Ketrel can... No.
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know, because it's different.
No one else can enter it without his permission.
But can it get out? Is my, because it's different, it doesn't seem to be as contained by this thing.
The thing I want to sort of...
After you said all this stuff, I don't know if I trust it.
So here's the thing. As long as they are the sort of Oscar embers, such as they are, as long as they are contained within the gatestones, the obsidian,
Yep.
they are stable, I'll say.
Okay.
If that wall breaks down,
The stone?
yeah.
Yep.
I think you are you are not confident that the oubliette would stop that.
Gotcha. Okay. So the obsidian is acting as a stronger force to contain this thing. Okay.
But I think the other function is of the oubliette that it is effectively hidden from scrying or outside look-ins.
Nobody else would know that it's here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, Mark, can you hold on 1 second? Just
Okay.
hold on.
Theo's gonna call Anna.
Like on Party Line?
Yeah, three-way call.
She's like, listen to the radio.
Go for Anna.
Hey, it's Theo. I'm on the phone with Mark. I'm gonna connect our calls real quick, okay?
Hello?
And then Theo merges the two calls.
Look, you can just call me back later.
No, it's fine. I got Anna here.
Oh, Anna?
Hi, what's up?
Hi.
What was your weird mission that you were doing?
He was trying to get in contact with Embers, but he didn't necessarily, whatever. And anyways, the more important question that we have is like, we're wondering, and can you maybe put us on speakerphone so Kira can also hear?
Wait, who? Oh.
Sure.
Anna, we'll put her on speakerphone.
Mark and I were talking about what to do with the 2 stones that he has. Right now he has them in his oubliette, but do you guys think that it would be best if he maybe brings it with us? I told him to meet us at Dawnbreak.
Well, what do we feel like is a greater risk right now? That somebody else will try to get their hands on the stones, or that they will escape from the stones?
Both?
That's not an acceptable answer.
What do you think, Mark?
Is there anything that we can do to secure the stones?
Further?
Yes, prolong them from doing anything.
I think Anna is like,
Well, I could maybe try to do the...
We could maybe get a bigger rock.
Mm-hmm. What the 3? We don't need 3.
No, we'll split it off into 3.
I could maybe do one of my abjuration spells that would help here.
If Anna's abjuration works, I mean, I could maybe help on top of that and bar anybody from accessing it.
Yeah, if I can get my hands on these stones, I can put a glyph on them, which will at least slow it down. It'll prevent anything from escaping.
Plus, technically, we'll all be there, so we're kind of sort of protecting it.
So why don't you bring him to Dawnbreak?
Okay. What do you think, Mark?
Okay. No, that's fine.
And you hear Mark clopping down the stairs because he went all the way back upstairs.
Forgetting to hang up the phone because he's not used to doing it.
No, I'm just on the phone still,
Oh, okay.
like just walking down the stairs.
Okay, so we'll see you in about like 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or I guess quicker if you guys just fly here.
Give me a minute. Catrail's making pizza and stuff, and then we'll come over in a little bit.
Oh, I was gonna order Chinese. I was feeling spaghetti.
Mark is just like,
No, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. You can have the pizza. Like, we'll just DoorDash over here. It's fine.
Catrail can eat a pizza like nobody's business. I'll be over in a little bit.
We'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye. Alright.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Make sure to finish all that pizza, Catrail.
So, Mark, you go downstairs, slide open the oubliette again, take the stones with you. One in your pocket, one hefted under your arm.
I have a little string backpack that I'm going to like throw it in and throw it over my back.
And then you go upstairs, and facing away from you, sitting at your like kitchen table, working on a piece of pizza, is Lowry. And in between you and him is standing Catrail, and she's like looking at him. And as you come upstairs, she turns to look at you with a concerned look on her face and looks back at him. And you notice that his hair has gone totally white and is like thinning.
How long has it been, Johnny?
Oh,
it hasn't been
no.
3 full days.
It has.
No, it wasn't. This has all been like 1 day.
No. Time has passed.
Fuck you. Okay, please bring him back to Dawnbreak.
What's going on with your hair?
Huh?
Wait, how much longer did you have?
Well,
Fuck.
it's fine.
It's not fine. Look at your hair.
Well,
Let's
it
all
might
go
be
to.
expensive to re-up, but
We'll figure it
at
out. We
least I'll
got
have
time.
to find space with somebody.
Let's all go to Dawnbreak. Catrail, why don't you come with us? You can bring the pizza.
Yes.
All right. Careful with your wings. I don't know what happens to someone that is slowly deteriorating. So just careful. Catrail, spot him a little bit as we're flying.
I'll stay close.
Would it help if I took a bike?
Oh, like instead of needing to be carried?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I will drive.
I think like
You guys fly.
Catrell looks at Lowry and looks at the 2 pieces of pizza that she's holding in either hand, and she goes, yes, that would be helpful.
All right, I'll see you two there. Get there fast as you can. We got to get this figured out.
You don't know it, but I want to tell you that sometime in the next hour, there will be a Nextdoor post.
Oh.
The headline being "Flying Pizza?" ? Exclamation point. So basically, a slice of supreme pizza fell out of nowhere and landed on my windshield. Wasn't behind anybody. Weren't any cars around. I stopped. There wasn't a bridge or roof or anything. Has anyone else noticed
Flying
pizza being flung from afar? Maybe teenagers with a slingshot. I don't know.
Maybe it was one of those frog tornado things.
and then Mark is gonna see that on Nextdoor and post the alien guy.
Assuming you got like a notification on it when you arrive at dawnbreak. Aliens guy. And then you walk inside and you are all now in the same place.
Can I talk to Yano in the car? I'm guessing you heard most of that.
I do speak English.
I just didn't know if you were like maybe trying not to like listen because, you know, boundaries and respect and stuff.
It's more a telephone call thing. It's inconvenient to have driver speaking.
What would you do if you were in my position? And I think I need to make a roll, Johnny. Because with the mentor roll, if I'm asking for help or whatever.
Out of 7 to 9, you choose. They're either busy and can't help, or they answer the question, but you owe a favor.
I would prefer the latter, that I owe him a favor. I rolled a 7, if that wasn't clear.
It was. I think he'll kind of look at you sideways as he's driving and be like, you are embroiled in conflicts between the god kings of a ethereal nether world.
Yeah, and then some.
And Yano, he repairs lawnmowers. You wish for the advice of this man.
Well, it's not like I can go to my dad.
Well, I heard this word, war. Yano knows of war, and would wish it upon nobody. If there is peace to be found in equilibrium, I would do this.
Okay, but I don't know which side would bring peace. How do I figure that out?
There is power in this equilibrium that if 2 sides each have a large stick they can shake at each other, they will be content to shake this stick. As long as each believes that striking the other will result in a worse strike back to them, maybe neither one pulls this trigger. It is unpleasant. It is what we have.
Okay. Thank you.
But I am not the one who communicates with God Kings. I am not the one who can shake loose the foundations of buildings and hurl them at my enemies.
Well, I can't do that.
You will.
What?
He turns and winks.
So, do we get back to Dawnbreak then?
Yes.
All right.
Provided Theo is done with the scene with Yano.
Yeah, there's only one other thing that I want to do, but I can do it at Dawnbreak.
Cap.
I think as soon as we get there, Kira is going to go find Verdigris.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the little journal in hand. Well, I think I found this.
He's paging through it. Did this ever become a part of your career? The drawing?
Not really. That was always Mark's forte.
Shame. You've got an eye for it.
Well, thank you. No, I was always better with my words. So this might help.
It should. And he'll hold up one of the family pictures that you have and point to the thing in the background and be like, whatever she is, she's a part of you and you're a part of her.
Okay, then.
This should remind her.
Well, there's no point in delaying things.
There might be. So Theo, Mark, Kira, Anna, you and everybody are all there. I just want to make sure that we know there are 2 things that you need to do here. One is have a sort of Justice League Council meeting to figure out what to do with and about the stones. The other thing is to talk to Ember. I want to know from you guys which one you want to do first.
Well, so if we all get here too, and I think if Anna sees Lowry like fading,
Yeah.
I was going to say Lowry's another one.
I think Anna might actually go over to him and be like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, I found him like this.
I think she's gonna like kind of grab his hands and like be looking him over.
They're like cold and papery.
I think she kind of like puts a hand on his cheek. How much time does he have before he completely fades? Is that a roll I can do?
Yeah, go ahead. Read about its situation.
7.
Okay. The next sunrise.
Which is how far away?
Early evening right now.
Okay.
And also, until then, he won't be able to fight.
Yeah. I think, she kind of like grabbing his hand. Well, you probably only have a few more hours before you completely fade. Give me just a minute here. Ramsey, Lincoln! I think Anna like presses like her little necklace walkie-talkie that she's got, tries to contact Ramsey, Lincoln.
We'll manipulate someone.
15.
What the fuck?
Advance move.
I expected I'd hear from you about now.
Well, I'm sure you probably can guess, but the magic is fading. He's only got probably, I think, until sunrise. Is there any way to re-up the spell?
Please.
Brother.
Or would we need to do this properly, if that's the case?
Well, that depends. What are you thinking? You just want, like, an extension? Or do you want to start it all over again?
Start it all over again, as in, like, the 3-day process, or?
Yeah.
What would the difference between an extension and doing that be?
One would be easy. The other one wouldn't.
Which one would be easier?
Extension.
How long would an extension give us?
Probably another day.
Let me get back to you. Hi, Lowry.
He looks tired. Hey, you.
So we could do things a couple of different ways. You could, hop in here again, points to her head, or we could do an extension, which would give us maybe another day, or we could do the whole spell over again, but that would take some time and would be harder.
Yeah, and he'll look, I think, to Mark across the room and be like, you guys are kind of in the middle of something. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that.
You're part of this. We need you.
And I think Anna actually grabs his hand, but I like you in my way.
But more to the point, you are part of this. We need you here.
I think he'll look to Mark and be like, well, I'm not going anywhere. It's just, and he like weakly clenches his left hand and he's like, this was just a bonus all along.
It doesn't have to be a bonus.
He'll look back at Anna and be like, I mean, doing something more permanent would be fun and great, but I don't need to walk around to help you.
Would you want something permanent?
That's kind of a big question.
Anna blushes. Yeah.
So does Lowry.
Mark.
Why do I have to be an audience to my weird Ghost Brothers love life?
Mark has sighed so much this episode already.
Well, it's better than the other thing.
Let's do the extension for now. We can figure out what to do maybe after this immediate problem.
What's the permanent way?
We'd have to make him a full-on body. That would be
very big magic.
Yeah, that'd be like akin to like when we made Anna.
Which, remember, you had a bit of an assist when you made Anna.
Yeah, it would take some time. So if we want him to help with this immediate thing, I would say maybe we do just an extension. Give us an extra day or so.
Okay.
I think he'll look at Mark and nod, and look at Anna and nod. So what do we need to do?
Hey, Lincoln, I think we want to go with the extension option.
Okay, make it happen.
Can we get to how? What do I do? What do I do, boss?
Well, I thought you, like I said, I expected you to ask me, but I can't do much from here. I sent him off with all the tools and then you got your book.
Lowry has the tools?
Yeah? What do you think, I'm a shitty boss? Check his pockets.
Okay. Turn out your pockets, sir. What do you got? Apparently you have something in your pockets, Lowry.
What? Checks his pants, reaches into one of his pants pockets and pulls out. It's two thin strips of leather bound in the center with like a pretty sort of marble-sized red jewel.
Okay.
Based on the kind of length of it, the leather cords, I think you know immediately that it's a headband.
Okay. A red jeweled headband.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to let the advanced move on the manipulate someone for your help from Lincoln ride that there is something that he suspiciously mentioned a couple of days ago when he could tell that this was what you were planning to do with your ghost boyfriend. Again, I think it's kind of an off-label use. It's for when people without the ability to see ghosts used to try to bind the ghost back into the body to speak with it to get some kind of information from a spirit. It's like that. It will bind a spirit and a body for 24 to 36 hours. But it must be like blessed and prayed over, and it must remain attached. This is like a chakra point, I want to say, that there is like some center of energy in the forehead. He'll have to just wear this, and then you'll have to pray and bless over it, and I will make you use magic for it.
Okay. All right. And then there's something in my book that I need to, like a spell I would need to find?
Yeah, I will, but I will tell you that you can find it, and what you find is, it's called Soul Snare.
Yeah. Okay.
I love Anna's spell book.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like this is the spell. Should buy us a little bit more time.
Lowry brings the jewel to his nose, and he's like, is this rock salt?
Is it?
Yes.
Would you feel better or what are you doing? Stop licking it. You're meant to put it on your forehead, I think.
You mean I'm going to have to wear it, aren't I?
Yes. I think you'll look really cute.
Don't.
Well, I think it'll look really nice. It'll really bring out your eyes.
Don't. He like looks sheepishly at Mark. Behind whom is Catrell with enthusiastic double thumbs up. You are nailing this. All right, he'll put it on, and he'll have to like sit down in front of you, and you'll have to do some stuff. Why don't you roll use magic?
Yes. So she'll like kind of like take his hands, say some words.
And you know what? Mark, roll help out, and please miss.
Ooh, hell yeah, Anna. I rolled a 14 advanced move.
12.
Sick. Yeah, his hair kind of comes back. The paleness in his face and hands and the sort of gauntness in his cheeks goes away. The color comes back, and he once again looks young, and his blonde hair is pulled back and about shoulder length and is now kept away from his eyes and forehead by this leather cord with a little pink jewel right in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah, just kind of adjusted a little. Be like, oh, it looks so good. I think this will give us a little more time.
I think Catrell, I'm sorry about this, you guys. Catrell tugs at Mark's shirt and is like, this might be a weird question. What is Sailor Moon?
Oh my god.
Who? What are you?
The memories in this head are thinking that's Sailor Moon, but what's a Sailor Moon?
I don't know.
How do we find out?
I think that Anna, after that's done, she'll kind of, like adjust it a little, and she'll be like, well, that looks pretty good.
Yeah?
You're looking better too.
Okay.
For what it's worth, by the way, and I think she kind of is hoping nobody's like listening.
Oh, everybody's listening.
Oh boy.
Well, then she would try to say it under her breath so that not as many people hear. I think she'll kiss Lowry on the forehead, and then she'll say, for what it's worth, I hope you stay permanently. And I'm just gonna get up before he says anything.
Okay. And he'll stand up and be like, okay, here we go.
I'm fine.
What? All right. Now then.
I think Mark takes out the stones and lays them on the table.
We have these stones. Anna is going to go over to them, I think, and before we decide what we want to do next, she wanted to do the abjuration effect on the stones to buy us some more time, essentially. Yeah. It's the effect that would take some time to draw a glyph that completely traps a type of creature within its bounds.
Okay.
So they can't leave it until it finds a clever workaround. At the very least, it's sure to slow it down.
Okay, that's doable.
Where was this heat sink piece again?
It's here. It's a device that we have.
Yep.
So, guys, I think Kira, so the heatsink is here. We have it under our control. We don't necessarily, in order to actually properly use it, we would need Jazz to probably assist us with that, which is that like kind of cyborg that was apparently from the future.
Cyborg hipster, yeah.
once we can get these, if we still want to go the route of combining these two things so that they are one thing, we could put it in the heat sink. But the problem is it can only take one thing at a time. So that's why we're thinking about putting it into one entity again.
Like to get your head into space, Kira's going theory is that the plan that everyone's in on, you believed, I think the last time you mentioned that you thought that what Ro wanted to do with his forge, or at least what you could do with the forge, would be to take the two stones that have two Oscars, combine them.
Which is the thing that Theo does not know.
Yes.
So we're wanting to go to the forge. What are we wanting to do there? Unless it's safer to not tell me.
We want to get access, is what Ro was asking for.
I mean, in my experience with her, says Lowry, it's sort of a get the pieces in place.
For what?
She'll tell us when she needs us.
Needs you for what?
Forge a weapon, break something down, build a shield. What do you do with forges?
No. Until she needs you for what?
To use the forge. She wants to secure access to it. That's phase 1. I don't know of what phase 2 is. If anybody would, be Mark.
The question remains, what the fuck do we do? I like that plan of like making it back into one, and like
I was gonna say I like that too. I think the heat sink is the last step to contain it.
So my question is, the heat sink, are we intending to put Oscar in there, or the thing behind Oscar, or Ember?
I would say Oscar personally.
Okay. Jonny, I'm wondering, would I be able to read a bad situation or investigate a mystery because I know the Vitalis family and I'm guessing I know of the Forge? Would I be able to know if we would be able to combine these stones in the Forge? Like, is that a possibility?
Investigate a mystery.
10.
Ask 2 questions.
With the Forge at the Vitalis, would we be able to combine these 2 stones into one, bringing the 2 fires into one?
If anywhere could, it would be there. The other thing I want you to know about their forge is they are notoriously firm in their pricing. The thing I want to is that, like, for some of the other things that they do, like the sort of building of spells and the security system work that they kind of do, and anything else that they'll work in trade or on credit. But for things that are made with the forge, it costs what it costs.
Can I ask a clarifying question for that?
Sure.
Do they take favors as payment?
For everything but the forge.
Okay. My second question with Investigative Mystery. Would Doors have any knowledge that could help us in how to, like, combine or eliminate Oscar?
I mean, I suppose you'd have to ask them.
Okay, Theo will share that information with everybody.
Okay. So we'd have to pay a hefty price is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how much, because this is unique.
Well, that gives us a road to look down, at least. Something to explore.
Who all wants this power? It's Ro, it's...
Yeah, Theo, who else?
Did you say something about the Star King wanting this?
The Star King has an interest in it, but only into protecting himself.
I think Anna's like, oh, right.
Him.
Both Ro and the Star King want this power so that they can protect themselves. This is a nuclear bomb, people.
And I had a vision about the Gray Hand.
Well, we don't even know what Ro's going to do with it. She already has one deadly weapon that we just gave over to her.
Why are we giving people deadly weapons at all?
I don't know. Ask Mark.
I mean, that's my question too. I'm not saying that we should do one or the other. I think we need to find a way to destroy it. Because, I mean, yeah, it offers protection, but we're in control of it, and we know we're not going to do anything bad with it. We don't know what other people are going to do with it.
We are barely in control of it.
Exactly.
Would Doors know anything more about it, Kira? I mean, Ears had created it, right?
Kira's hands clench at that. The drum created it.
Okay.
And you want to turn it back over to them to look into?
No, I'm just wondering, like, if they have information, like gathering information on this. I mean, yeah, maybe the Forge can combine it, but like, yeah, then we put it in the heat sink.
I think Kira will feel a hand on her shoulder, be like, the drum is dead, Kira. It's Donovan.
I know. You're right. We can call Doors, see if they know anything. You know what? Actually, Jonny, could I roll Dark Past for this?
Not for this, but you could do the other thing.
What other thing?
Have you taken that other move yet?
What other move? You have to be. Can you be less specific?
Not myself.
Oh, yeah, I'll try. Can I do that? Can I use not myself?
Yes.
10. So 2 questions. God, I don't even know, like, would I be able to tap into Ember, or would it have to be a different altar?
Without talking to Ember, it would have to be a different one.
Okay.
There's Ruth, there's McCleary, there's the wolf.
I'm aware. I just don't know who would.
We've got a little girl in there.
I've never met her.
I know.
What's her name?
I don't know why, but I think it's Stevie.
Oh, cute. I haven't talked to him in a while. Let's talk to McCleary.
All right.
Maybe it's a mistake, but in the spirit of getting to know myself better.
I think the moment you reach out to make contact, you'll be just greeted with a curt inmate.
McCleary, nice to hear from you again. Have you been paying attention to all of this shit?
I never close my eyes. You know that.
Yeah, look, you're really good about keeping things locked down, and we have this fire that is wanting to break loose, and
I'm familiar.
if you know anything, I could really use some insight. Okay, so then I think the question that she'd want to ask, what secret does this altar know that I don't? And the other one would be, what resources does this altar have access to that could help here or know about?
McCleary, as it happens, has a pretty sizable post history on like a militia / preppers message board.
My God.
And resources, any and all of them.
Preppers? Like end times people?
Yeah.
Or what do you mean? Oh my God, okay.
Uh-huh. Some of them religious, some of them just into the sort of survivalist cosplay. Some of them, maybe think they know something that others don't.
All right, I'll stick with secret then.
Okay. What secret does he know?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if this helps at all, but like my idea behind like even asking this in the first place, or why I wanted to ask Dark Past, was like, who could help right now was kind of my like, who would know more, who could help.
If that's the question you want to ask, I am prepared to answer it.
Okay. Then if I could ask that.
The people who would know the most about what's going on with Ember and what to do with her and what her whole deal is are the kings of there.
Cool. Okay, well then I think Kira would say to him, how would end of the world preppers be helpful here?
That's what she is, right?
Well, she definitely has that capacity.
I'm just saying, they're good guys.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay, well, it's always good talking to you. I'll talk with you later.
You have to figure out what to do with these stones, and you have to figure out what to do with Ember.
Yes, we are back at square fucking one. Okay.
At least we got Lowry fixed for a little bit.
Yeah. One fire at a time, guys, quite literally.
Even if I do look like a fucking hippie.
I look like a cute hippie.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Could be worse. You could smell like patchouli.
What, do you want me to tell you look stupid? You don't. You look great.
Was that directed at me?
No. So, we have end of the world firestones that 2 gods want to protect themselves. And we have another one that's in my sister. That's also a thing. Do we want to maybe go chase down this forge and see if it's even fucking possible to do anything with it?
I think that's our next step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because whatever is at that forge can work with these things. And I don't think there's anything else that is going to be able to work with said things.
What did Yano said about, like, his advice to Theo?
Maintain equilibrium.
Right, but, like, there was something specifically you said about, like, the retaliation or something would be worse, or...
Yeah. If Ro has this power that you've given her, and the Grey Hand has this power that he's asking for you to give him now, maybe this would forestall some coming war.
We give them both nukes.
I mean...
Sounds great, guys.
It's a great plan. Great plan.
Technically, thing number 2, Ro hasn't asked for you to give her the fire.
No, she's only asked access to the forge.
She wants the forge.
Yeah, but she took the wood. Josiah.
She sure did.
Miah. We know the Grey Hand is a bad dude.
No, it's fine. Okay, no, but the idea that I had is that I think that it seems more valuable to maybe potentially look into the future and see what would happen if we gave or made these things.
Anna, I fucking saw what happened. There was twin fires and the sky was erupting in flame, and there was all that was left after it was fucking Roger Sand, the singer that Kira met when she was there in the fucking last time, talking about how, oh great, the world ended.
I saw this vision too, didn't I? I can vouch for that.
All right, never mind then. Let's go to the forge.
And point of information, Roger Sand was at the beginning, not the end.
Sorry, he was before that, and then everything ended.
Okay, let's go to the forge.
I think Kira is going to say, if you guys want to go ahead, I need to deal with this first. She kind of holds up the notebook.
Who's Roger Sand?
I don't really know. I found him in the Dead Sea, and he was singing a song about when the Sea Kingdom died.
You mean like an alive in the sea?
Sort of like undead.
Weird. And Catrell just like accepts that as an answer.
I hate you, Jonny.
I really hate you. This is like, it makes me so frustrating because I feel like there's like 10 different things that we could be doing right now. We could go fucking talk to Roger Sam. We could go to the fucking forge. We could go do this thing with Kira. We could go do whatever.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Just pick one and do it.
Next time, let's just not do any of the things that Jonny puts in front of us. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah, you've never tried that before. That's never happened before. You've never tried that.
Are you
move. That's
suggesting not
done.
playing the game?
I'm suggesting playing our game.
Let's go to the forge.
Kira needs to do this thing with Ember. I do still think we should go to the fucking forge because that was the beginning of this mystery in the fucking first place. Roger Sand is another fucking thread that we might want to get some information on. Is there a way we could communicate with somebody from there without actually having to go there? Let me ask you that question. Is that possible?
Theo has a connection to the stars and the Star Kingdom.
Yep.
Mark has a connection to the sky and the Sky Kingdom. If you could make, probably via one of them, some connection to the Sea Kingdom, perhaps through a proxy, perhaps through some kind of underling, then yeah, that would be like a sort of switchboard plug into the Dead Sea. You'd have to get someone from the stars or from the sky to go into the sea.
What about if there's somebody already in the sea?
Who's in the sea?
Thugaban?
The charming coachman.
That's a couple of ideas right there.
Mm-hmm. Gale.
How would you get in touch with them?
Oh, no, I don't want to talk to her.
Okay, so to get in touch with the charming coachman, my thought is we could potentially do that through Preston Lariat since they have a connection.
You could do that through Preston Lariat.
Look at us thinking of things. Okay.
Is that what you want to try to do?
Yeah, I think. Did we get his contact info? I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. Kira will call him, I guess.
Kira, what are you doing?
I'm calling a friend. Well, not friend, but guy.
Excuse me.
Oh, he answered.
Okay, you're calling nobody. Got it. All right.
Roll manipulate someone.
11.
There's a youngish sounding woman who answers the phone.
This is the answering service for Preston Lariat. How may I direct your call?
Good evening. I'm hoping to get in contact with Preston. This is Kira Ashwood. He met us in Chicago and then Minneapolis on the job. Do I need to be more on the nose?
I'll pass along your contact information and see if I can. Let me see if I can reach Mr. Lariat.
And then you'll hear like this, like,
Give me the phone. Give me the phone.
and then out of breath, Preston Lariat will be like,
This is Preston Lariat. Miss Ashwood.
Hi, Preston.
How can I be of service?
We could really use your help getting in contact with the charming coachman or someone from the sea. There's somebody there that we need to get in contact with, and if we could have some sort of proxy to do that, it might make it a little easier.
You want to go in there and find him and speak to him?
Ideally, we would just be able to open up a channel, not go there in person if we can avoid it.
Ah, cross-dimensional contact. Yes.
Right.
Well, it could take a bit of time, but it's a meditation thing, and, well, I'm a bit wound up these days.
Have you tried tea?
as though he's taken the phone away from his mouth and saying just directly to his assistant,
Tea. Of course. Well, off you go. I don't know, chamomile.
I would recommend some chamomile's great. I like to warm mine up a little bit to really help soothe things, really calm things down.
Yes.
you can hear paper scratching.
Calm things down. Warm, heat.
Mm-hmm. But Preston, this is very urgent business, very important business. So I'm going to need you to really some sense of urgency on this. When do you think you can get back to me?
Roll manipulate someone again.
8.
I suppose that depends on when Corinne gets back with my relaxing tea. Within an hour or two?
Okay. Call us back when you find out more. We have some stuff we can take care of here.
All right.
So, with that in mind, we're waiting for Preston. He got about an hour or two to get back to us. I think Kira would want to do her whole shtick with Ember. But maybe Theo and Mark, or who, I don't know, do we want to send some people to head to go to the forge before it gets too late? Because it's already kind of nighttime.
Theo, do you want to get going?
Sure.
How do we want to approach this with the Vitalis family? Or we just have to pay a price and then we get access to the forge, or do we need to?
I mean, if you want them to cooperate you, it's better to pay.
All right.
How many people are we dealing with here?
The Vitalis family and their rest of their crew.
Theo, roll investigate a mystery.
9.
They have a meager staff. I think the only person other than the brothers themselves who actually does the skilled labor is they have a forge assistant named Eric. But they do have security. Soldiers of fortune. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But it's more than a couple of guys in a barn. That's what Theo knows.
Well, do we all want to go together, or do you guys want to get a head start? I need some stuff I need to take care of here.
Theo, do you think it'd be good to scout this out? Somebody there, or
I mean, we're not breaking in.
Well, we should probably know what we're going into, right?
I guess so.
Although, if they notice me, that could be really bad.
Yeah.
Why? If you mean you sneaking around?
Yeah.
Well, then don't sneak.
I mean, would you sneak around a bank that you're about to go do a transaction at?
If there's a reason for it.
Why do not you look with your distance eyes?
I'm worried that will be detected.
I'm talking to her.
Oh.
You are worried that Theora's abilities are well known by these brothers Vitalis. One of her specialties is to view a time or place.
Yeah, but I was talking about Mark or whatever. I'm worried I was going to draw attention. Never mind. Forget it.
You wish to disguise. Yano has many large flannel shirts. Will make small slight boy seem to be a large man.
Theo, why don't you see if you can see anything?
Give me 5 minutes.
Yano is sort of going over some sort of things on Mark's wardrobe, and your shirt hangs quite tightly around your chest. This helps to accentuate your slender figure. Makes you seem small.
What does accentuate mean?
Conceal, elevate, add illusion to hips and waist.
Mark is very intrigued.
Papa Yano. So, Theo, roll use magic.
I rolled a 12.
You sure did. So you are able to look at basically a bird's eye view of the Brothers Vitalis operation. It's kind of one part warehouse / airplane hangar, one part odd factory. There are a couple of I think they seem hastily built assembly lines. What you get from that and what you know about them is that they will do custom mass production work. So they would have built a number of machines to do this that they will then take apart later and do something else with. There is also a space in the back and below that you are unable to see. It's as though in the video game you're playing, you haven't unlocked that area of map yet.
So that roll was using magic, and I rolled a 12, and it's my advanced move. Would I be able to ask the Star King to help me see past that?
Yup. So you are standing there looking, and then you just without saying a word, put the vibe out there, and then you can feel him standing next to you, and you can feel his gray hand come to rest on your shoulder. Yeah, and you can feel all 3 of your eyes open just a little bit wider. And you can't fully penetrate it to see it as it is, but you can see the outlines of things. And you can see an enormous circular coal pit, of flames. You can see an enormous anvil. You can see that it is lined with dozens of tools that are themselves far too big to be wielded by either Vitalis brother. And you can see, curled up in the corner and weeping, a maybe 15-foot tall female figure. And she is dressed like a blacksmith. Leather apron, roomy linens, hair pulled back in a leather bandana. But you cannot see her face because it's buried in her hands, and she can't stop crying. That's what you see.
Okay.
What do you see?
Well, I see the Vitali warehouse, of course.
But I mean, like anything to watch out for?
They'll blink and become present.
Also, I will tell you, there are precisely 5 mercenaries on staff at present, well spread out such that none of their territory really overlaps with another.
I spotted at least 5 mercenaries outside of the main staff and the brothers themselves. The forge is located behind and below the factory, and I can only see one person in there, although they did not seem happy to be there. I'm guessing that they're imprisoned.
Well, let's go knock on the door.
And are you guys going to go ahead, or do you want to wait till Kira's done doing her thing?
Why don't we open up Skynet? It might be better if we come in piecemeal rather than all together, just in case something goes crazy.
Would appear less threatening that way anyways.
Theo and Mark, are you going to bring anybody else with you?
Yana,
Okay.
you bringing Ketrel?
Mark, she'll do what you tell her to do.
Ketrel, you're with me. Mark gulps.
And then what's Anna doing?
She's going to stay with Kira to talk with Umber.
And Lowry will stay too. Okay. Kira and Anna.
Yeah.
You with Tommy, Donovan, and Lowry, who will go exactly as far into this as you will allow them to, are brought back by Verdigris into the room with the insight mirror.
Okay. I think Kira will look to Donovan, Tommy, and Lowry. I think this is something that Anna and I need to do alone.
I think only Donovan will speak up and say, "You're sure?"
I think she shows him the notebook. This is us. If anybody's going to get her to listen, well, maybe it'll be parts of herself.
Donovan will look back and forth and make eye contact with Tommy and with Lowry. We'll be right here if you need us.
Good. Don't go too far. And I think Kira will grab Anna's hand and then will pull off the tarp from the insight that Verdigris had put up.
And then everyone but you two will leave the room. And you will look at the mirror, and it will once again singe itself ash black, and then these 2 burning coals in place of your eyes will show up, and then the sort of outline of her will appear again. Back again.
That we are. I went somewhere in between the last time we talked.
Yes, you always do. Flitting about like it matters.
We went back to where it started. Home.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Reconnecting with your roots, are you?
She pulls out the notebook. I found this. Do you remember this?
Child's doodles. I suppose you'll want to remember where it started before it all ends.
I think she's gonna start like flipping through the pages and like kind of have it like
Librarian style?
yeah, like she's reading show and tell. You see this picture here? She flips the page. There's me and Anna, and that surly looking guy is McCleary. This old lady is Ruth. This little wolf over here is Vilka. And then this little, even younger girl is Stevie. And then you see over here in the corner, she points to the flame-looking thing that is Ember. That's you.
That couldn't be me. All the rest of the people in this picture are still alive.
Roll manipulate someone.
8. Really? Then why are you in this picture too? And she flips to the next page. And this one.
Each time you flip the page, she flinches like you're slapping her in the face.
Or this one. You're trying to forget, but I know you remember.
How should I know? I'm not the one who drew them.
You might as well have.
I'm not a child.
But you were! You made yourself into one! Keep flipping the page. There you are again. You've been here this whole time.
Waiting, biding time.
For what?
Why was he so mean to us?
I don't know. He was a monster.
I wanted him burned and gone. That's all I wanted. But I couldn't. Why was I so weak?
You weren't.
Then why were you?
I was just a kid. We all were. I didn't know the things that I know now, but we are strong now. We've learned and we've grown, and we're not alone anymore.
I was never supposed to be a kid. I'm flames and change and the inevitable. And still,
You can still be this. You can still be scared. Part of something. I mean, that's what we are. We're one and the same. Parts of a whole.
a life. Alive.
Yes.
And some of the ashy darkness in the mirror go from being just sort of flat black to taking a kind of form, three-dimensional shade and light bouncing off of a face that looks not unlike your own.
I always thought of Anna as my sister, and I've been so scared of you for so long because I didn't understand you, but you're not. You're just like us. You're my sister too, in a weird way, but you scare the fuck out of me. I don't want to be scared of you anymore. I think Kira might actually reach out a hand.
I remember gleeful destruction, consumption, transformation, what I was built for. All I ever... And then I was pulled. It's cold, pulled through time. And then there was still destruction, but no more glee. Just blood. And she was so scared. And I was scared.
It's okay.
And I hit.
It's okay. I think Kira's gonna approach the mirror just a little more.
She's gonna like flinch back just a hair, and then she's gonna look up at you.
I built myself a place to hide.
We don't have to hide.
I shouldn't have to hide from anything.
No. I meant what I said when I came here before. I want to work with you. You said that you don't just want to destroy, you want to create too.
A will to do. I thought my being here, my being you, was an accident. I was destiny. I was what comes next. And I'd been pulled from the track and shoved into cold. But what if that was the destiny?
And she looks up at you, and like the fire in her eyes doesn't dim, but at least retracts into the sort of eyeball area.
What if I was always supposed to talk to you?
I would listen.
Then I think she is going to sit down, crisscross applesauce.
What are you supposed to do when you get scared?
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Come, have a seat. Take your shoes off. Help yourself to a coffee or a brandy. Won't you join us in the intermission, for which I am here? Me, Jonny, from before. Please allow Lauren and I, as ourselves, to catch you up on some things we have going on around here in podcast land.
Wow, thanks for that wonderful intro.
We are semi-professional.
Yes, so I do have some announcements for you guys. Here's what we have coming up. Our next episode of A Cover Story will be available in 2 weeks from now on April 23rd. And Jonny, this is actually going to conclude Act 2 of Season 3, which means that we're going to be doing another Covering the Story episode where the cast sits around and discusses the show so far. So stay tuned for that. It's a good one.
It really is.
And then over on our Patreon, we will have a brand new episode of Doctors' Highlights for you guys on April 30th. Jonny, I think you have some reminders to share.
Oh yes, remembering is my favorite thing to do. If you would like to support our show, you can leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your listening platform of choice. Of course, we also would love it if you could tell your friends, as word of mouth is still the best way to get a show like ours noticed. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter at Monster Playbook, and we are on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Blue Sky Social as Monsters Playbook to keep up with news and goings on of the pod. If you'd like to support us monetarily, you can as mentioned, subscribe to our Patreon for those exclusive episodes, subscriber-only swag, and those sweet, sweet bloopers. And we also have a merch store and a Ko-Fi page. And if you'd like to just kind of hang out, you can join us on our Discord channel. We'll talk about this game, other games, and that crazy game called life. And if I just talked too fast for you to type along, not to worry. All of these links and not much more can be found in our Direct Me profile in this episode's show notes.
We have so much in our Direct Me profile. What are you talking about? All the good things. All right, you guys, this week's promo is for No Latency, an actual play podcast set in Night City in the cyberpunk Red universe. Join their adventures as they learn the mysteries of Night City, a bar called No Latency, and a mysterious fixer named Domino. How will it end? Only the dice will tell. Let's take a listen.
No Latency Season 2 has begun, Night City has changed, and Domino is back.
A good thing we're not collecting vending machines anymore.
The crew are once again on the trail of a mystery.
You ever been to space?
Iona has new burdens.
Why do I recognize the plane?
Retro tackles new challenges.
An elevator that works in an apartment building.
And Jeb, well, Jeb is just Jeb.
Bust down this door. Oh, no, sorry. Let's knock on it.
But now they have a medtech on board, Vivi.
I'm Vivi. I've heard good things about you.
Together they'll blaze all over Night City and beyond.
Woo! Road trip, here we go.
To discover memories forgotten.
You are the only thing I remember, Hell.
And new places to explore.
We have to go to the Glass District.
To uncover a plan that's bigger than anything they've ever seen before.
What else can you tell me about this wonderful compound that you've got here?
This season, the crew and Domino are taking back Night City.
All right, it's gonna be a tough one.
And then we get in the pod and we rescue Retro.
No Latency, a cyberpunk red roleplay podcast. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to Preem podcasts. See you in Night City.
Learn more and follow No Latency on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or on their website at nolatencypodcast.com, which we've linked again in the show notes. And with that, you may now return to the episode. Thank you for joining us in the intermission. Cut to Mark and Theo.
I have a question. How are Mark and Theo getting to the Vitales?
What a coincidence, because I have a question. How are Mark and Theo getting to the Brothers Vitales?
Well, Yano can drive, but he is a truck, and I've always imagined it as a two-person truck.
I can sit in the back of Yano's truck.
In the bed of the truck? It's technically illegal, Mark Clayton.
Why does it have to be a two-person truck? Maybe it's a four-person truck.
Okay, it's not my NPC. What is it, Johnny?
I mean, it is at the very least covered. I always kind of imagined it not a pickup truck, more like a
Ford Bronco or something like that,
or like a Suburban.
Okay.
It is full of shit, and he'll have to move some stuff around. But he's like moving some stuff around, and he picks up something. He's like, yeah, and he like shows it to Mark, and he's like, see, it dispenses both a plastic sheeting or paper and the tape at the same time. It can make masking off a window or a door very simple.
Oh, Mark pulls it out and he's like looking at it. And
yeah, it's like a handheld kind of tape dispenser, and it is pretty slick. It is like, yeah, careful of the blade.
The blade. And I think Mark accidentally cuts himself. Ah!
As the two of them are chatting, can I lean over to Ketrel kind of quietly? You want to sit shotgun?
Roll manipulate someone.
7.
I think Ketrel, in response to that, is going to go, are you sure you wouldn't rather sit with your dad?
No, I want to sit in the back with my boyfriend.
Ketrel blushes. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll do that. Okay. And she'll sit up front.
Okay.
Ketrel, something wrong?
No, everything's great. Have fun.
In the back seat? Oh, okay.
She gets in the front seat, slams the door shut, and makes herself very small. And the back seat is as cleared off as it's going to get. And Theo and Mark climb in the back, Yano into the driver's seat, and sets off to the Brothers Vitalis compound.
I'd like to cast the same spell that I used on Kira and Tommy when we were in there.
I recall. Cone of Silence. Roll it.
Ketrel's like, it's unusually quiet in the back seat.
It's fine. They're not doing anything weird. Romance is quiet sometimes.
13, advanced move.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to give you with the advanced move is that Yano doesn't notice.
Okay.
Like, it's just, and there's just like the air around you two feels a little bit more still, and you can't hear the road sound. You can't hear, if Yano or Ketrel talk, it's very muffled, and they can't hear you at all. What do you What do you want to talk about?
Theo's gonna wait and see if Mark notices.
Mark, roll read about situation.
9.
Theo did something. You saw her saying some words and doing some hand gestures. And then nothing happened.
Yano's car is very quiet.
It's not usually like that.
Is that what you did? Your little thing you were doing there?
I'm sorry? That little thingy?
Uh-oh, she's using her mad voice.
Mark, oh shit.
Oh, you stepped in it again, Clayton.
You use magic.
We need to talk.
So let's talk. This whole thing.
You and everybody else are painting him like a bad guy. Why?
Starking?
Yes, who else would I be talking about? Not Yano.
Look, these are two.
Have you ever wondered if Ro is the bad guy?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about her?
That's why I don't like talking about it out loud, because I'm aware. Look, these are two very powerful individuals, and I don't trust either.
Then why did you give her the Witchwood? Why do you keep listening to her? Every time she comes up, it sounds like we trust her and that she's on our side. But anytime that the Star King comes up, oh, he's the bad guy. He's doing something. He's going to stab us in the back. He hasn't done anything.
Theo, I don't know this guy.
I want to remind Mark that the reason he made the deal with Ro to give her the Witchwood, it was to help Theo.
Theo, the reason that I gave her the Witchwood is because I asked her to help you. Not because I trusted her or whatever. I didn't want something bad to happen to you. That doesn't change, the fact that I felt awful giving it to her because I don't know what she was going to do with it. I still don't know what she's going to do with it fully. And this power that I've somehow conjured up in these rocks it's a ticking time bomb. No one should have that power.
So what do you plan to do after?
I don't care if your guy is good or bad. This doesn't need... do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm sure he's good in some ways and he's helpful. And I don't know the guy. But what is the bad thing that would happen if this just disappeared?
If what disappeared?
If this magic just disappeared and they didn't have access to it.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that we should or shouldn't give it to them. It just always seems like everybody's on her side.
Well, she's kind of immediate right now with a lot of things that I'm finding out in my life suddenly.
Fine. Right. Whatever.
What do you want me? What do you want me to say? That I should be trusting of this guy? Turn a blind eye and expect that things will just be okay?
What if I chose right for once? What if I'm not wrong? Like everyone makes it feel like I am.
Chose wrong? Hold on. Chose wrong how?
With this. And Theo's gonna hold up her right hand. Not to mention the other side. And Theo's gonna gesture to her left hand. Anna said it. I'm falling apart. Hands, eyes. I'm just tired, and I'm tired of being wrong. And I'm tired of losing everything. And I'm tired of people questioning me.
I think Mark is going to just gently grab her hand.
Don't touch me!
Which hand?
Both of them.
Theo's not letting you.
Theo, roll act under pressure. Mark, do the same.
So I'm going to hold on to your hands. I am not going to hold on to... I got an 8.
I got a 14.
God damn it.
So yeah, Mark, you barely grasp and make a little bit of contact with some of the fingers on her left hand before she yanks them away from you.
Everything that I apparently touch is wrong and broken, just like me.
One question. Theo, all these things are happening. What do you want? What does Theo want? And how do you get it?
I want power in every sense of the word.
And I will ask you to that point, why? What will you do with this power?
Create the life that I deserve. I don't have anything. And I think Theo's going to break the spell and say to Yano, stop the car.
Roll manipulate someone. I will give you +1 because he's Yano.
Because he's Yano. 10.
Okay. Huh? The car will safely and slowly stop and pull over. Something has happened.
Theo's going to get out of the car.
Where are we? Have we arrived? Where? Yano's going to get out of the car as well.
Theo's going to reach out to the Star King and tell him, take me out of here.
Hold on. Can I say something?
You sure can. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to hear from the Star King, who will say, "Do you have it?"
No.
It's so close. Mark, you wanted to say something?
I think Mark just kind of looks to the other side of the car, just staring out the window, and just says, "Do you want other people to know that you made the right decision, or do you?"
If I may, that is the most Mark Clayton sentiment I can even imagine. Mark only ever had himself, never understood social interactions, couldn't possibly imagine other people's opinions of him affecting the way he lived his life. All he had, all he needed was conviction in what he was doing for himself. Theora, raised smothered by a family and beyond the family, the organization who maintained their power by way of social expectations. Everything she's done in her life has been either to accept or reject the yoke of expectation from all of these people. I think I'm not going to have you roll Theo. That question shakes you to your core. Do you want to know you've made the right decision? Or do you want other people to think you're making the right decision? Who are you doing this for? Detjen-Wander, you can remove one of your luck points.
What?
That was exquisite, and I want to give you the equivalent of inspiration.
I think in like the quietest voice, Theo's going to ask, "You're not going to help me?" to the Star King.
I'm not going to take you away from your goal. Take it. It's there. They're both there.
OOC, I kind of hope that Kira's words are echoing in Theo's head right now when you had asked her, "How do you know if I should trust the Star King?" Can you honestly say that he cares about you as a person? Because if he doesn't, then he doesn't deserve you.
It would be so simple. And then I can take you out of there with a snap of my fingers. I'll make it easy for you. Either of the stones. With your gray right hand, place a hand on them. That will do.
Theo's going to use Force of Will on the Star King.
Oh.
Oh.
Would you roll that, please?
13.
First of all, let me understand what you are trying to do with this spell. You want to sever the connection that you have between you and him?
Just like push him away. Like block him out.
Like, yeah, you can do that temporarily, no problem. I would like to point out to you that you can also spend luck to snuff out a powerful spell or strange effect, which I would allow you to, for your dagger tattoos on your back, I would allow you to permanently remove the gray one if you spend a luck point.
No, that's not really at the top of Theo's mind.
Okay.
I think she just wants him out of her head and run crying back into the car and into Mark's open arms? Question mark.
I mean, based on what you had been doing, Mark, I think that what happens is Theo dives back through the open rear driver's side door and tackles you into a hug that pushes you to the other side of the back seat.
I'm choosing it for others. It's always been for others. It's never me.
I think Mark doesn't say anything. He just holds you.
The door gently closes.
You know what? I think he's just going to hold you. Mm-hmm. Just be in the moment. Because Mark is still a little salty, but he understands that you made you got through a really tough thing.
You will see in between the driver and passenger seats, looking back at you, eyes wide and quivering like an anime character, is Catrell, who's just like, at seeing you two hug each other.
Theo can't see her because she's like just trying to make herself as small as she can, like into Mark.
Yep. Theo is barely aware of the world outside of herself and Mark.
Well, I think like even with Mark, she like just, I don't know, just feels like horrible and just right now is just like hating herself.
What I would like, Mark, for fun, roll manipulate someone.
7.
Okay. I think with a 7, you can tell. I won't insist that this happens and lands for you as I would have otherwise, but you can tell that what Mark was trying to say was, I think in that way of you're like, but I know that like he didn't want you to feel bad about this. The idea that you've never been able to choose yourself is not your fault.
I think the reason Mark stayed quiet too is because he wanted Theo to own that moment.
Holy shit. What a good Mark episode, you guys.
But really though, like she comes back into the car, she lands and stuff like that, and then she's sorry, we're not doing talking with the characters. Sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, Mark seems to be recognized that she's made this decision now. This is her moment. Cut to Kira and Anna. I think I want to have to like check back in with you guys. You have been she's still hard to relate to.
Yeah.
And she's still bad at talking to people, and she's still really mean.
Mm-hmm.
But Ember is at least not. Well, she stopped sort of saying the stuff about like pathetic humans, kind of.
Yeah.
And she at least now, as a result of what you've done, appears to see and think about herself as the same species as you are, which may not sound like much, but it's pretty huge. So that's where I want to come back to you guys. And what do you want to say, think, or even leave?
Well, I mean, Kira's ultimate goal is to eventually have Ember and her integrate. But it kind of feels like that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No. What I think I want to do next, Kira, Anna, and Ember will take a bit of time to like continue to bond with Ember. It's going to be a little bit contentious because she's still mean, but she's on your side now. The outcome of that is that now, because you've done this, because you've made her cry, because you've connected with her in this way, rehumanized her, you will be able to make contact with her whenever you like.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a room now in your apartment building.
Aww.
What does it look like?
Biblical hell.
She's a little feisty, but she means well, guys. Yeah, just like imagine like Anna giving a tour. This is McCleary's. It looks like kind of like a prison cell. This is Kira's room. Looks like the redwood forest. Super cute. Mine looks like a cabin in the woods. Oh, don't go in there.
Don't go in there.
That's the older sister's room.
Point of information, McCleary's actually looks like a prison guard's office.
Oh, okay.
Like a warden's office.
My bad.
With a side room that looks like a prison cell.
Oh, absolutely. That's where he can put her.
Vilka's room just looks like the open moonscape and running through the woods.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does Preston get back to me yet or not quite yet?
Yes. So, Kira, while you are doing your conversation, I have two things that will happen. And then we'll probably call it, because the first thing will be, you'll get a call back from not Preston, but his answering service.
Assistant?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Larry believes he's made contact.
Oh, with the charming coachman?
With his contact, he was charmingly vague with me.
Great. Can you put Preston on the phone?
In a sense.
And then you hear like her voice a ways away from the speakerphone, speaking gently.
Mr. Lariat, your friend is on the line to etc.
And then very calmly you will hear Preston Lariat in his very proper voice being like,
I've connected with the charming coachman. He has called in a number of favors, and he is back in the Dead Sea. Who and how would you like to talk to?
You can tell that he's being very zen and restrained.
This isn't scary, and I'm not drunk.
All right, Preston. And Kira's going to use her most soothing voice. We would like to contact a man called Roger Sand. He's somewhat of a singer or an elegist.
Kira, roll use magic.
10.
Was his name Roger Sand?
His name was Roger Sand, with a silent E. Okay, so 10. You will hear the assistant say,
Mr. Lariat is closing his eyes. He appears to be shuddering. Stiffened. His eyes are open once more, and he is. Who'll you be then?
Oh, hello. Roger?
The interloper.
Yep, that is me. My sister had a vision about you in the future, singing a song for another kingdom falling. But I want to know what happened the first time, when the Sea Kingdom fell. You sung about it briefly, but there's some questions I still have. Care to share?
Care to ask? What questions precisely?
How did Andragoras meet his end? I've heard rumors that the sky and the stars worked together to bring him down. Do you know what happened?
Rumors. Legends illegitimately spread. It was the Star King that started the war, though perhaps Andragoras played his part with his pride and his greed, though it being the Grey Hand who moved, perhaps war truly was inevitable, even if it would have been unwinnable, until he came, the man on fire.
Oscar.
Aye,
And he burnt the whole place to ash.
that's what his sort of fire does.
They're trying to get their hands on another one of these fires.
Which?
The same, I suppose. Oscar again.
Not which fire. That matters little. Which one?
Well, for certain we know that the Star King wants it. Maybe this... It's unclear what the Sky King wants, but she wants a weapon as well. I'm not sure if she wants the fire, but she wants a weapon.
In all my time, knowing them both, I never quite understood which one is more inscrutable. The Sky King, she doesn't know the present, and the Star King, he only knows the future. How can you truly understand either of them?
And the Sea King had extended past his reign, and that's why the Star King wanted him killed?
That's why the Star King started the war. There was to be no killing.
Why is there a war now?
Is there a war?
It sounds as if there's being preparations made. Why? What? Is somebody not relinquishing their control that should be? Is somebody have ambitions of ruling all the kingdoms? What do you know?
You couldn't rule it with just one king.
Why not?
You know of this place. There, you call it. Simply other. The sky, the sea, the stars. You know it as a gateway through which the souls of the living pass on their way to the other side. Well, you don't have a gateway like this without a cracking big wall. True purpose, all of there, is to be a bulwark. This is the sacred duty of all of its kings, with all of our pride, our princes, our greed and our schemes. Could be we forgot that duty. All life marches inevitably towards death. That's what happens next. Your kind are literally born to die. It's part of the plan. But it must be kept in balance. That other side, what you call afterlife, it is powerful, it is hungry, and it is impatient. That's what we kings did. Held the wall. If these walls should fall, that other side, it'll take your planet. Turn every living thing in it into exactly what it thinks should come next. What should come now. It'll create a new world in its image. A world of ashes.
And so with this third kingdom, the Sea Kingdom being destroyed, I can't imagine that's very good for...
That's a cornerstone pulled out of the walls.
Is there any way to put it back?
Nothing lives in the sea,
Well, the fire's gone now.
and the ash remains. There's but a vestige of Entergorus' power left. The heart of the sea, it's diminished. Half as good, if that. Not enough on its own to hold the walls.
But the power does still exist somewhere.
Aye, but the will is gone.
The will is gone? What does he mean by that?
Roll read a bad situation.
With my, I think, Mystic, I get a +1 because I rolled Magic last time, so that's a 10.
I can tell you precisely what he means. He means that if the power of the King of the Sea yet exists, there is not an associated fighting spirit to push for it.
There's no entity that, could actually take that power?
That's not what I said.
There's no fighting spirit?
The place and or the person who owns it has lost hope. That's what he means.
The will, it's gone.
Will, as it turns out, is a rather important part of the cosmology of there.
Right, because that's how the souls even get there in the first place, is people's will, where they believe, souls are sent, how they are sent. They will them to go there.
Aye.
But where is this trace of the Sea King? Where can he be found?
Where else would he be but in his kingdom?
Could you be more specific?
The sea, girl, is here in the sea.
When I was there last time, Johnny, I think Kira had rolled, if I recall, I was trying to search with my life drain to find any traces of life. I think I had maybe felt something, but it was buried deep or something.
Yeah, you found a sort of beating heart artifact somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And that was, yes, buried and barely alive.
I think she describes that. Is that him?
There's your mistake. You're searching for something living, but nothing lives in the sea.
But there's a trace there. It has to be rebuilt or something.
What brought out? You've given me an idea for a new song.
But this duty, though, the duty of the kings, it's to protect, it's to be a bulwark against the afterlife. So these kings are neglecting their duty if they were to start a war amongst themselves. If any of the other kingdoms were to fall, that could plunge everything into chaos, is what it sounds like.
But the kingdoms can't fall. Not while their kings live. We've battled against each other since time immemorial. Until Entergorus fell. It were a stalemate. A sort of war game, playing at power. Although death has been unleashed, who's to say? Who can see what'll happen next?
Well, I've seen one ending. Anna chimes in over the phone, and it's not good.
And I suppose that grey-handed fella has seen dozens of others. Although, from his perspective, very little ever ends.
Is there a way to reinforce the wall? How do we keep it from falling, crumbling?
Well, that answer's simple. All it takes is a king and a kingdom. If you've the power and you've the will, Bob's your uncle.
But he's saying, if there was outright war and, another kingdom were to fall, that, the wall would break?
It would be weakened for sure. 2 cornerstones.
So then, if that's the case, how would there just being a king and a kingdom really...
Well, he's saying a third king, I'm guessing.
It's part of it. The thing about Roger is that his knowledge of current events is lacking. He's been in the Dead Sea for some time. He can tell you about the theoreticals of the space of there. He can't tell you very much about Ro or the Grey Hand that he didn't already know when the sea was killed. He can tell you about the nature of there. He can tell you about their sacred duty. And he can tell you that there is something in the sea that may be of help to you.
Okay. One other question. I don't know if you know this. Why is the Grey Hand's hand gray? What happened?
In truth, no one properly knows. I always held it was a sort of scar. A reach too far, too high, or too deep. That would suit him, don't you think?
Certainly has ambitions.
This is off topic. How was Ashwood created?
You don't know.
I mean, we know that it was the future, but I'm kind of wondering if it was like
This afterlife.
the bulwark breaking.
Yeah. Do we know how Ro and the Grey Hand became the kings of those kingdoms? Have they always been the kings of those kingdoms?
Huge, gigantic no.
Is that something that Kira can ask?
So, the kings of there, how did they come into their power? How did they acquire the mantle of kingship?
Roll manipulate someone.
Boom! 12 oh, wait, hang on. What's that? Yeah, 13 advance move.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Count your numbers.
Numbers are hard.
A kingdom needs a king, and as each one was born, it's said they pulled or manifested from the existing loose willpower of there, summoned to ascend. You can't have a king without a kingdom, and you can't have a kingdom without a king. Maybe the place chooses the person, or the person designs the place.
I'm so sus right now.
Why? I'm being extremely nice.
No, it's the fucking song.
Yeah? What about it?
You know what it's about.
I sure do.
Okay, so that happens. So it's sort of the chicken before the egg scenario.
May I ask you a question?
I'm not used to being asked many questions, but sure. I am a reporter after all.
With all of this that you've learned, do you expect to fly into the situation alone?
Of course not. We have a team of people. I have my friends.
Which friends?
Well, my sister, for one. Several who are loyal to our cause. And Prince of the Sky and the Stars.
I think you'll hear the voice of the assistant saying,
Mr. Lariat appears quite confused. The Star King has a prince?
Apparently, yeah. And sounds like it's a big deal. Not something that happens very often.
Who?
Why do you care?
It was a matter of some contention upon a time.
Him having a prince?
Him not having a prince.
Why is that?
Our duty of the kings, is sacred and enormous, and shouldn't be undertaken alone. It was believed at the time that the Grey Hand's hubris was simply that. But if he's taken someone under his wing, either he has finally accepted his duty, or he has grander plans for himself.
Are you a betting man, Roger?
I'm not a man at all.
Well, if you had to wager, which do you think it is?
Have I to wager? If I were a hopeful man, I would see the fall of the sea as the thing that finally woke his ambitious ass out of the slumber of his hubris. If I were a cynical man, well, I don't think I'd ever seen that bastard so surprised in all his life. I don't think I'd ever seen him surprised, ever.
Didn't the Star King have princes before? Didn't the Sea Kingdom kill them?
Is that what you've heard?
are you connected at all to Kira?
No, this is me asking Johnny.
Yeah, because I feel like I do remember you saying that at one point, that there were other princes, but then they were killed or something.
Yeah, I have a plan for that.
Unless that was just a lie.
Don't worry about it. You'll find out.
Because that's why me and Theo felt sympathetic towards him. Like having the people he was close to just killed off.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lariat is sweating and his face is turning quite red. Do you mind if I snap him out of his exertions?
Yeah, that's just wait. One last thing.
Roll manipulate someone real quick, because you did say yes.
9. I don't know why I just laughed like a little kid.
You're like,
you will hear the distinct sound of a hand slapping on a face, and then a very quick.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Shush.
I just want to confirm. So when I had asked at the beginning, how the Sea Kingdom felt, he said the Star King. Did he mention the Sea Kingdom at all? Or sorry, the fucking Sky Kingdom at all? Were they working together, or was it just the Star King?
He did not mention the sky.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy didn't have anything to do with it?
Not as far as Roger knows.
Okay. Well, because I know when we were here last time, we had talked to, I think, Lowry about it, and he mentioned that there was somebody who might know more. And you gave them some weird name, like, I forget what you called them.
The All-Seer, I called them.
Yeah. That they would maybe know.
I had another fun idea about that.
The All-Seer?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, should I bring it up? Should I ask Roger so we can talk about the All-Seer?
Yeah, why don't you ask about the All-Seer?
All right. Do you know where I could find the All-Seer?
Be on your side.
Oh, where? How do I find them?
It's right there in the name. Look to where the stars, the sky, and the sea meet. What can you find in all three?
And then you hear a very polite,
I'm sorry, he appears to be bleeding from his nose. I'm going to end this conversation. 3, 2, 1, haps!
Okay,
What
thanks.
the devil? Is this my blood?
Thank you, Preston. Thank you. That was helpful.
I will be charging.
Yeah, you can bill it to Rex Crook, RJ.
Cat, Theo, Mark, and the rest. You all pull up to the Vitalis compound. And it is like it's kind of like getting onto a secure lot in Yano's not very fancy truck thing to like a security booth. There's a guy in it and there's a little like barrier. The guy for reasons of power moves is dressed head to toe in like sort of SWAT gear. I think he's got the helmet. He's got very obvious body armor. And he's got like a balaclava. So the only thing you can see of his actual human face is his eyes. When he talks, he's like wearing a speaker that carries his voice so he doesn't sound muffled.
You got business? Your plates aren't on the list.
Yes, we are Impulse Spy, says Yano and looks to you, eyes and mouth wide. Both Theo and Mark are in the back seat, and in the front is Yano, who is Yano, and Catrell, who is Catrell, who will be like, we want to see where you guys make your... Yano puts a hand over her face. We are here for scouting mission on behalf of... Yes? He rolls down your window.
We come looking for the forge.
Mark, roll manipulate someone. Theo, roll help out.
Even though Theo's sitting there fucking dumbstruck and shit.
Her mere presence will help here.
I got a 14.
Got a 6.
And it's my advanced move.
Doesn't matter what you rolled.
All right. Mark, you got a 12.
That could have been bad.
It could have been real bad. I think you'll see this person like speak something into a separate walkie-talkie that they have, but the microphone is still on, so you can hear them say,
Yeah, there's a crappy truck in here, but looks like we got something double alive. Weirdest guy I've ever seen, and I don't think you're gonna believe this, but yeah, it is. Yeah, no, alive. I'm looking at her.
And then he just like kind of waves at somebody else, and then the little barrier thing raises, and you are escorted in.
This feels not good.
This feels not good.
Can I ask Mark something?
Very quickly.
Yeah, I think that like with the hearing of like, yeah, you're not going to believe it, like that whole thing, I feel like Theo's going to like look to Mark and just be like, I don't understand what you mean by do what other people like or versus me. Like what's important is what's right. So like, how do I know what's right? You said choose me. I don't know.
Make the decision that Theo would make.
But I wouldn't make the decision for me.
Why?
You hear, as you're sort of pulling up outside of the window that is still rolled down, but still distant because he's walking out of the warehouse/hangar.
You fly-infested Nessos bitch! You come to my place of business. You come to here after what your father has done. You are ruined everything. You poison the Magica. You steal for yourself like I always knew your pig of a father would.
Executive producer Jonny Grubb. This has been The Monsters Playbook, featuring
Detjen-Wander as Mark Clayton.
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood.
Miah Detjen-Wander as Theo Nessos.
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen-Wander and edited by Miah Detjen-Wander and Lauren Johnson. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. If you liked this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. And if you just can't get enough of the Monsters Playbook, join us on Patreon. We have bonus episodes, exclusive merch, and patron-only mini-series and side stories. Or join us on Discord, where we pretty much just hang out. We're also on social media, obviously, so you can get updates on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening. Point of information, whose head is Dockers in these days?
Mark's. So is Sonoma.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
They're, well, they might be busy.
Johnny!
Wait, what?
You have ghosts fucking in your head right now.
They haven't seen each other in a while. I don't think they'd hop straight to the main event, though.
I mean, they've been in his head for a while.
Yeah, they're very romantic.
Aw.
Ghost time takes a little bit longer, you know?